Hello, my name is Rhiannon LaTour, and I'm the Bureau Chief of the Special Victims Bureau in the Richmond County District Attorney's Office. In my bureau are 4 other prosecutors. There are 2 Deputy Bureau Chiefs, Brooke Baranowski and Melissa O'Leary, and 2 line assistants, Amir Fidel and Alva Prenga. Our job is to handle all of the cases that are reported to the police concerning sexual assaults that have occurred on Staten Island. We also investigate reports that have not led yet to arrests. Every day, hundreds of Americans are affected by sexual violence. Sexual violence can happen to anyone, anywhere, but individuals ranging in age from 18 to 24 are statistically more vulnerable to a sexual crime. Most sexual assaults are committed by someone known to the victim, which can make the crime more confusing to the victim and can make the victim less likely to report to law enforcement. College-age women are twice as likely to be sexually assaulted than they are to be robbed. Women are not the only victims of sexual violence. Men can be victims too, though they are even less likely to report crimes committed against them than women. There are some basic terms that you may hear: sexual harassment versus sexual assault. So sexual harassment refers to unwanted sexual attention, whether verbal or physical. Examples can include unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors. They don't always rise to the level of a criminal offense, but they can. Sexual assault refers to sexual conduct or contact or behavior that's often physical and occurs without the consent of the victim. So some examples are what everybody refers to as rape, which is penetration, attempted rape, forced sexual acts such as oral sex and forcible touching. And what is consent? Consent is something really important to talk about because it is an agreement to engage in sexual activity. Communication is key. It is important to clearly communicate what your boundaries are to your partner. Do not assume that your partner knows your boundaries. You have to tell them. Also, just because you consent to one sexual act doesn't mean you consent to every sexual act. You have to consent to each act. What do you do if you've been sexually assaulted? Go somewhere safe. If it's an emergency, call 911. Seek medical attention. It's important that a medical examination happens as soon as possible after the incident. There are health reasons for this, like STD testing, pregnancy testing, and other types of testing. And just because you go to the hospital doesn't mean you have to report it to the police. Depending on the circumstances, you may be offered a rape kit, and a rape kit will only be done with your consent. They can't force you to do a rape kit. And just because you get a rape kit still does not mean you have to report it to the police. You can choose to get one done just in case you decide to report to the police at a later time. Contact school administration, go to a trusted faculty advisor, or contact a trusted service provider. There will be some contact information at the end of this presentation, like Safe Horizon or the Staten Island Family Justice Center, and they can help with a range of services, including crisis intervention, medical attention, counseling, and legal advice. Seek counseling if you are struggling with processing what has happened, even if you don't think you need it in the minutes or days after. Sometimes it takes years for people to understand that they might need counseling for something like this. Contact us, contact the district attorney's office, and consider us a resource. What can you do if someone you know tells you that they have been sexually assaulted? It's not always easy to know what to say when someone tells you that they have been sexually assaulted, but you can consider the following, and a lot of these are the same that we just discussed if you yourself have been sexually assaulted. Encourage them to get somewhere safe. Again, if there's an emergency, have them call 911. Listen to them. Let the person tell you what happened without passing judgment or expressing disbelief at their story. Encourage them to seek medical attention. Again, it is important a medical examination happens as soon as possible. If you feel comfortable enough, go with them because they could use the support of somebody they know. Encourage them to contact school administration, go to a trusted faculty member. Encourage them to contact a trusted service provider like Safe Horizon or the Staten Island Family Justice Center. They can help again with a range of resources. Encourage them to seek counseling if they're struggling with processing what has happened, and encourage them also to contact us, the Richmond County District Attorney's Office. In considering whether to contact us, please remember that we are not the NYPD. We are not mandatory reporters for things that happen against those 17 or older. You can come to us without having to report your incident to the police. We want to serve as a source of information. If you have questions, you can ask us. We are here to listen and offer advice. Oftentimes people are confused as to whether it even was a sexual assault, or they want to talk things out and see what their options are. Everything you say to us is confidential. We will not share the details of your situation with anyone else unless you want us to. We can provide free and confidential legal advice concerning all available options regarding whether or not to move forward with an official complaint. We can explain to you the investigative process. We can explain to you what happens when the police get involved. We can explain to you what happens after an arrest is made, and we can let you know what all of those steps are before you make a decision as to whether or not you want to report this to the police. You will not get in trouble if you disclose you were under the influence of drugs and/or alcohol at the time of the assault. Please do not let that be the reason that you don't come to us. In all of my time here, over 10 years, we have never prosecuted a sexual assault victim for being under the influence of alcohol or illegal drugs. We strongly encourage you to seek medical and psychological attention. Your physical and mental health are the most important considerations at this time. Medical and mental health professionals can help you cope with the traumatic experience. We are here to help in whatever way we can, whether that's providing you with advice, options, or just listening. Please reach out to either us or one of the other service providers that have been listed on this slide. There's a Special Victims Bureau, which I'm the chief of. If you can call that, you can contact me. Staten Island Family Justice Center, which has civil resources, civil legal resources, and counseling services, and lots of other things if you contact them. The Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Hotline and the Safe Horizon Sexual Assault Hotline would allow you to remain anonymous if you just want to talk to somebody about what you're going through. So please, again, consider us and consider one of the other options listed. Thank you and have a good day.